Hello, this is Ivan from watchandlearn.com, and in this short video I'm going to show you how to make an event list and hide past events. So the events that have already passed, they won't be shown, but the events that are going to happen or future events, they're going to be shown on our page. To do this, we will be using a WordPress custom query and also custom post types to make the event post type and make the necessary fields. So first of all, the idea for this video actually came from Federico Mota. He said, is it possible to create a custom post type page that only show posts with a metadata bigger than the current date? So in this video we are going to show how to do that. Okay, so I already prepared for this video, so I made some things already. So you have events custom type. If we go here and here, so you will see it's a normal custom post type, just called events, singular is event and slug is events. Nothing special here. So we also have some custom fields. I made them into a group called events, and we have two custom fields. We have start date and end date. So if you're going to make an event list, you should have at least these two fields. You can also have venue and so on. To make those fields, I was using the date widget, so make sure to do that. If we go now to events, you will see that I already have two events made. So I have a past event. As you can see, I have this date widget here, so when I click it I can choose the date I want. So I have start date October 10th, end date October 18th, and also I have event 1 which has the start date of November 1st and end date of November 3rd. So that's my setup. Also, what I did was is I made an event archive, so archive events, which is practically a copy of archive books that we done in the previous two videos. So it's just a copy, and it says instead of what did it say here, list of books, it says list of events, and instead of year of publishing and author, it says start date and end date. As you can see, we have those start date and end date fields here. If you don't know how to do any of this, please check out my previous videos because it's all explained there. So let's get to work. If I go to my page right now, I will see on the front page I have listed some books. I also, which I forgot to mention, I also made a link in my main menu to the events, so actually to this file, to this archive events page. So if I click here, I will see those two events. So I have title of event, start date, end date, and some description. And then I have event 1, start date, end date, and some description. So our goal here is to actually, because this event has already passed, so it's not happening somewhere in the future, we want to hide it, because we don't want to show events that have already passed. We want to just show the events that are going to happen, or that are currently running. So to do that, actually, before we get into that, I just want to explain one more thing. So you have start date and end date, and you have this random, actually they're not random, but you have this string of numbers, as you can see here. So what is this? That's the Unix timestamp. So that's the date in the Unix timestamp format. And the Unix timestamp format measures the time from the January 1st of 1970 in seconds. So how much seconds did it pass from January 1st, 1970 till this date? So it will be this number. Of course, we are going to actually need this, but we can go to our fields, and instead of raw, say false, and we can say false here. and when I save, I should get the normal date, so human readable. So October 10th, October 2014. Okay, so what I want to do now, this is actually pretty easy, but if you don't know WordPress custom queries, it's not going to be easy for you, but I will show you. So we just have to do one thing. We have to compare the current time with the end date time. So we want to compare it to end date. So if the current time is bigger than the end date, then we don't want to show that post. Or to put it another way, if the end date is bigger than the current time, then we want to show that post. So to do that, we are first have to define the current time. So I'm going to open PHP. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a variable called time equals str to time now. So what I said here is I wanna transform current time into the Unix timestamp. So to see how that works, I could just echo time. Okay, so as we can see here, this is our current time. So if I refresh this, you can see that these seconds change. So every time I refresh it, the seconds change. Okay. One more thing I forgot to mention. We have to use the Unix timestamp because the WP types plugin uh, stores the time for its date widget in this format. So we actually need the time variable to be in that format also, so we can compare it. And it's easy to compare because it's just a string of seconds. It would be much harder to compare if it was the real date or something like that. Okay, so let's get to work. We have to do what we have to do now is make an array of arguments. So I'm going to say args equals array. And first of all, in this array, I'm going to say which post type I want to load. So I'm going to say post type events. Okay. After that, I want to make a custom query. So I want to make a meta query. So to do that, I'm going to say meta query, and then array, and then I'm going to open another array. So meta queries are really powerful. So what we want to do now is we want to tell WordPress which field we want to use. So I'm going to say key equals. Now this is you have to pay attention to this. So we wanna our key field so would be end date. We wanna compare the end date. Except the end date is not called end date in the database. It's called WPCF dash end dash date. WP types just stores the dates that way. So now we wanna give it a compare operator. So we're gonna say compare equals. Now what we wanna do is say show me the posts if the end date is bigger than the current time. So I'm going to say bigger than, and then bigger than what value. So the value is going to be time. So the variable we defined here. So we just compare the end date to the current time. Okay. Now we're going to close this array. And what we want to do now is make a custom query. So okay, I just saw I have actually haven't done this right. Okay, so you have to add these to the equal sign. Okay, now we're going to make a custom query. To make a custom query, we do this. We just say query equals new WP query, and it's going to use our arguments. So we just pass it our arguments, and that's it. Okay, now instead of if have posts, while have posts, and so on, we are going to remove this line, and then we're going to say while query have posts query the post. Okay, so we have a while loop here. Okay, and we just gonna remove this end if, because we don't have an if statement here, so we just have a while loop here, and that's it. So this should actually be working now, I hope. Okay, so let's refresh this page. Something's wrong, so I didn't do something right. Let me just check. Okay, I think this is the problem. Post type events, it should be events. Okay, let's try it now. Okay, so we get event 1. We didn't get the past event because past event happened in October. If we want to do it the other way around, we can just switch this compare to this, and we should get the past event now, and event as you can see, event 1 is gone, past event is here right now. So as you can see, the WordPress custom queries and meta queries are very powerful, so you should use them when you want to get some specific data from the database, or you want to compare some data and so on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. You can shoot me up with your questions either in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or in the comment section on my website, or on Facebook, or on Twitter. Also, I just wanted to say to Nelson, if you're watching this, he also asked me a question. I will do the question for your video next time, because it's a little bit more complicated about it's something about albums, custom post types, and so on. It will be very interesting. It will be a little longer video, but I think we are going to learn a lot of things. So thank you guys for watching, and I see you next time.